Good afternoon, everybody. Guess what? This is Adams of the Adams Welfare Show back again today. This afternoon, we are back right here again at this special spot. And today, we are going to be talking about words. Words. What's it like to speak? What's it like to take words? What's it like to make words, to utter words? And what is the power behind the words that we utter? The space, the strength, the influence of the words that we speak to others, to ourselves, to our minds. And guess what? Today, right here, we are going to be expounding more to it about the words. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. This Friday afternoon, we're going to be speaking about words, and stay posted and stay tuned, everybody. Thank you so much, young and innovative minds, for making this possible to happen. Still in Kisumu County, once again, we are back here again, and today we are having nobody but absolutely me. So this is actually you and me and you. I have you, you have me. Thank you so much. And just for a reminder, this is Adams of the Adams Welfare Show back again. The mystical power of words. Every day in our daily lives, we speak, we utter words. We speak to ourselves, we speak to others. Do we actually contemplate the power and the influence of the words that we speak to ourselves, to others? Today, in this exclusive episode number 9, we're gonna know everything about words and what it actually takes to make a word and what it actually takes to break a word. Thank you so much. And I am absolutely meant to believe that with every word that comes out of your mouth, as either a confession or a statement in thought, has a purpose to fulfill in your life. Hence, behind every word that comes out of your mouth has a power and a spirit behind it. Every word, as a man, as a woman, every word that comes, every form of utterance that comes from your mouth has power, and behind this power of the word is a spirit. So, how serious is this? This is not actually a matter of joke. This is actually a matter of life and death. Just words, simple words, make nations go to war. Nations rise against other nations because of just words. And what do we actually think? We do not give words the respect it deserves. We do not give words the honor that it deserves. One time, repeatedly, persistently, sometimes we utter words that we were not meant to speak or to say. Maybe in one way or the other, we did not actually mean what we actually said. But in the end, it was actually an utterance. And that word was actually taken as fact. And that same word had to fulfill its purpose in your life as a speaker, as a perception, and as a person that conceived a thought in your mind. A word that comes out of your mouth had to fulfill. A word that came out of your mouth in your childhood, in your confession as an adult. A word that was said to you, or a word that you actually had in mind and you confessed via your mouth. A word, a thought that you had in mind had to fulfill its purpose today, just because you did not give it the honor that it actually deserves. Maybe actions are truly powerful, but I actually believe words are mostly powerful because words travel from the physical realm to the spiritual realm. The spiritual realm is actually a realm within the physical realm where words travel. And when words are given such a powerful fervency, they reach the spiritual realm. And when words are taken or received from the physical realm to the spiritual realm, these words can never be taken back. Come on, come on. I'm just meant to think that words are not actually that serious, because you can meet a person at work, at your workplace, when you're doing your hobby, your thing right here and there. You can actually insult somebody. You can actually say shit to somebody, but you do not actually want to believe that the words that you actually spoke has a purpose to fulfill in the life of the person that you say them to. And the words, and if these words happen, and if these words happen to travel to the spiritual realm, these words are going to cause influence in the life of the person that the same words were spoken to. So guess what? Today, you are actually going to know everything about this. And if you, in your life, you, my friend, have ever been, not if you have never been in honor or in respect, paid respect to the words that you speak, you, my friend, I am here today just to confess and tell you that from today, you have to be serious. You have to honor the words that you speak. Thank you so much, everybody. And words have the power to build. And what does it actually mean when words have the power to build? You can build somebody's self-esteem by actually telling them, but by actually telling them that they are actually great people. You can tell somebody that he is actually useless, worthless, and you are actually breaking the person with your words. Same as when you tell a person that he is a great person, even when you know that they are actually not, you are actually somehow building their self-esteem because they feel the acceptance. People are actually bound to words. Words can cause fulfillment. Knowing at the back of my mind that the same words that can cause fulfillment are the same words that can cause death. Actually, the same words that can give life. Number one, under the theme, mystical power of words, is the misuse of words. Utterance of wrong words that cause unfulfillment, rejection, bad luck, delay. And some people are actually enslaved by the words of others. Not entirely because they actually want to be slaves of the words of others. It is actually because they have been bound to the words. They have been tied to the words. You said something to somebody. It may be or maybe not be somebody that you actually love. At one time or the other, you actually said something that hurt them. And you did not actually mean it. But at the end of the day, that word was taken to bank. It was taken to account. And these words hurt these particular people that you claim to love them. You did not apologize. You did not actually take back these words that you actually put into them, spoken orally. And you are actually knowing that these words had to fulfill something. These are the particular words had to fulfill their purpose in their lives. And if you did not actually say something good, and if you actually say something bad, something negative to them, and these negative same words had to fulfill a purpose, their purpose in their lives. You did not apologize. You did not take back the words, and the same words live with them, tied to them. These words are actually tied to them like a soul tie. Misuse of words. There is actually one way out of this. And I believe that the only way, if you ever say something that you did not actually mean to somebody that you may love or not, the best thing to do is to free them. Free them of those words that will actually fulfill a negative purpose in their lives. Free them from those words that will actually ruin their lives. That if you love them, you will not actually utter the words that break them. If you claim to love these people as you say, you will actually utter the words that will build them, the words that will give them hope, the words that will build a future for them, the words that will go ahead of them and make it easier for them. Maybe it's true that sometimes we all sin in the name of love. That if we truly love either as Christians, as a particular people, if we truly love our neighbors, then we should actually be cautious with the words that we use against them. That if you ever said what you never meant to someone or confessed to yourself, it is actually healthy to apologize or take the words back. In this particular generation, we have men, we have women, mostly women that are not actually ready to say, I know that I was angry. I know that I was in my feelings. I know that I was sad. I know that I was lonely. I know that I was mistaken for. But you know what? I am actually sorry for what I said to you. I am actually sorry for what I said to you, and I'm not. It's not gonna happen again. We don't have the kind of people that will say the word sorry, and if a little of them are left, is actually be the people who will actually say sorry when they see you in a casket about to be in your grave. This is facts. Next is the ownership of words. Standing by your words. It can go as deep and easy as keeping your promises. Being faithful to your words. And for a fact, you just have to know, you, my friend, is that the power of words you speak will act against you if you actually did not keep faith to those words. If you were not actually faithful to those words, or you did not actually keep a promise, the power behind the same words will act against you. Ownership of words, it is not only a small factor, but ownership of words cuts across age and formality. It doesn't matter what age you are, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and even 100 years. You actually have to know that ownership of words is not prior to age. Some words you might have said the words when you were 20 years old. These words will actually come back when you are actually 50, 60, 70. I don't mean it is actually the same thing. It boomerangs, and what goes around actually comes around, not only in actions, in situations, but also in words. And if you, my friend, did not know actually how powerful words are, I'm guessing you're already starting to know how powerful words actually are. And that specifically means I'm just actually talking about the little specifics. And that one actually means that you have to be cautious, mostly with the words that you speak over and to the people you claim to love, your loved ones. Insults. Use of negative words such as insults on someone can impact their lives negatively. Maybe with anybody, parents, youths, uh, the elderly. I actually saw another video. It was a video on YouTube, and someone was actually calculating it was actually a calculated video. It was a content creator, and he was actually saying parents in situations they call their children either from anger, from sadness, from whatever feeling that they are actually sustaining or having. Someone can call you foolish and then send you to school to beat the foolishness. So when these people actually mention these words, you know what? You know what? You are actually so stupid. You know what? You are actually you're an idiot. You are foolish. You are worthless. You are actually useless. And when these people use these specific words, not only the words that I actually mentioned, that I actually reduced them to a specific prior, and there are actually more to the words. Some of them I've not actually mentioned due to time is a precious factor. And uh, these words, when someone says them to you persistently, not once, not twice, not thrice, not 4 times, not 5 times, 6 times, these words are gonna become a part of you. You are not entirely an idiot, but when uh somebody older than you, somebody prior to you, maybe your parent, your elder sister, somebody or entirely somebody of your same age actually says to you that you are actually an idiot more than twice. These words travel from the physical realm to the spiritual realm. And when these words reach the spiritual realm, these words actually attain more power than they have in the physical realm. And when these words come back from the spiritual realm to the physical realm, it actually causes an impact on the person that the words were spoken to. And believe you me, if you are not actually careful, you will actually be an idiot when somebody calls you an idiot and you do not actually refuse the words. That means you're actually giving in to the power, to the influence of the words. So in case anyone or anybody, elder or somebody that you were actually subject to mentioned negative words and you were not actually comfortable with the words that are actually uttered, you do not have to be disrespectful. You only have to refuse. If somebody says you're an idiot, oh, you might just as well tell them, from what I know, I am so and so. From what I know, I have done so and so. From what I know, I am educated. From what I know, I am talented. That I cannot be an idiot. And when you refuse, you actually take the power from those words and you render them powerless. And none of those words will actually be able to be used against you. And that is as far as words are actually concerned. So if you have never refused or rejected the words, negative words that were actually said to you by anybody, it is actually time that you start actually counting them over the years and you have to refuse them because some of these actual words might have been already started to work against your life. That is, if they were actually negative words, and if they were actually positive words, you actually have to receive it. You know what? You are actually a genius. You know what? You are actually worth my time. You know what? You are actually a beautiful person. You know what? You are actually the brightest person. You know what? You are actually blessed. You just have to say thank you, and so be it. I am blessed. Receive the positive words with a confession from your mouth, oral confession, and reject the negative words with your mouth orally, but respectfully. If you have anything to add to it, you, my friend, you can blow it up on the comment section. You can also light it up on fire. The comment section is all yours, you, my beautiful friend, and thank you so much. And if words have the power of creation, then words have power to destroy, kill, give life, or even take life. I actually know some of you are actually wondering what kind of words are we actually speaking about. It is it is actually no alien word. It is the actually normal day-to-day words that we use. Good morning. How have you woken up? Good afternoon. Good evening. You can actually make someone's day by actually greeting them. You know what? Good morning, miss. You know what? Good morning, sir. You know what? Good morning, mom. You know what? Good morning, dad. You know what? Good morning, son. Good morning, daughter. You know what? It is actually healthy. Something small such as a greeting can actually send a message to somebody's mind. Acceptance. You know what? Bond. And I'm actually saying greetings are also so powerful. It actually matters how you greet somebody. Greeting somebody does not actually mean a hand stretching out a hand like you want to greet somebody with your hand. Okay, there, let's go. And it actually means, how are you? How are you doing? How's work? How's the kids? How's the family? How's your job? How's your mom? How's your dad? How's everything? That is actually healthy. And if you do not know actually the importance of greeting, I'm guessing maybe you should actually start with your family. If you have a son, a daughter, if you have a father, a mother, an uncle that you have never greeted, maybe it's time you should employ this act of love. Greeting carries a more deeper meaning to just the words that I actually say. So next to it is negative confession. Negative confession. At one point of time, I remember I was in high school and I was I was a little bit performing so bad. I was doing so bad with my grades, and I was actually sometimes speaking to myself. Maybe I will never get an A in biology. Maybe I will never get a B in mathematics. And I was telling myself, I was actually speaking to myself that maybe I should start getting satisfied with my D. And that was not actually healthy for me. I myself know where that got me to. And for you, my friend, you do not have to learn from your own experience. You can take mine just for free. I'm not selling it. I'm not putting it on air. We're not doing auctioning of experience. I'm actually giving you this for free, and you can receive it if you need it. Thank you so much. And maybe I'm worthless. Maybe I can never perform better than I was performing. These were some of the words, negative confession that was coming from the perception and conception of my mind. And I was confessing them orally with my mouth. And these words actually hunted me down to the last breath in high school. So, depending on what you actually think or your actual current situation, I'm tired of life. I'm dead inside, I'm so poor. These words have the power to tie you to their influence and bring you down. If you actually perceive something from your mind and you actually get tied down to your thoughts and you actually let them ruin you, words, your own words will actually ruin you. And guess what? There is actually one and one only solution to this. I'm actually tempted to tell you this the next time we meet, but I'm actually gonna tell you this today for free. Positive confession. Stop thinking. Stop confessing. I'm poor. You know what? I'm weak. You know what? I don't really think I can do it. You know what? I think I'm actually losing faith. You know what? I think I'm actually worthless. You know what? Maybe I'm actually an idiot. You know what? Maybe I'm actually the thing that I hate. Those words will actually start by ruining you first. So you do not actually have to be the slave of your own tongue or your own thoughts. You are actually meant to be a master of your thoughts, and a master of your words. Talk is actually cheap. You do not actually pay someone to talk. Talk is actually cheap, but the words that we speak are actually expensive. They actually cost more to our lives. And I think that the only solution to negative confession is positive confession. You know what? This whole thing, this whole shit is kind of hard, but you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna keep doing it, and I'm never gonna give up. You know what? I'm actually broke right now, but I'm looking at the future, and I'm looking at the millionaire from my own picture. You know what? I'm actually great when you actually see the lowest of yourself. You don't actually have to confess. When you confess more than twice, these words travel from physical to the spiritual realm, and these words attain a higher power that can influence your actual life. You only have to stay positive. You know what? I'm a great man. You know what? I don't really think I'm an idiot. You know what? I don't really think I'm foolish. You know what? I don't really think I'm stupid. Maybe I was, but I am not. That now that my friend, my friend, now that is actually positive. And positive gives back to positive energy. Feeding your mind with non-healthy conversations, thoughts, and insults. And down there we have disorders, mental illness, something more to deal with anxiety. The depth of words we say to others or say against others affect their entire lives, especially in cases of persistence. I was saying before that when somebody tells you that you are actually an idiot more than twice, these words travel to the spiritual realm, and when they come back to the physical realm, they have actually attained so much power that you cannot stop them unless the people that say them actually apologize to you or actually take back those words. And maybe at that particular time, they may not be able to apologize. They may not be able to take those words because maybe they do not actually know of it. And there is what people actually think and speak and confess, what people actually say about us. And what people actually think and say about us is actually important. But what we ourselves think about us is more important. What we say about ourselves, what we think about ourselves. You know what? Somebody can just look at me and just say, you know what? You look like a drug addict. You look like a robber. You look like a thief. You look like a scumbearer. You know what? I'm gonna just go sit down to myself in a coach and I'm gonna just say, you know what? I look like a millionaire. You know what? I look like an entrepreneur. I look like a businessman. I look like a better version of me. And your words don't have to bring me down. I do not have you and I. We do not deserve to be slaves or subject to other people's words and minds. That is a depiction of slavery. Thank you so much, you my friend. Thank you so much, everybody, for staying tuned. We are almost going to conclusion of episode number 9 of Adam's Welfare Show. Pointless and non-healthy conversations make your mind subject to your thoughts and feelings. And from that, we have actually learned that words travel from the physical realm to the spiritual realm. And if someone tells you that you are actually foolish, stupid, useless, worthless, you know what? I hate you so bad that I would want you to actually die. I wish you death. You know what? If I would have known that you would have grown up to be the kind of person that you were, I would have actually killed you before you were born. You know what? When these words are actually said to someone more than twice, the words travel to the spiritual realm. Hence, these persons are trying to manipulate you with words because maybe they understand the power of words, and maybe you, my friend, do not. And the same actually works with curses and blessings. Positive words. You know what? I actually love you. You know what? I actually love you. I adore you. You were so beautiful. You were so nice to me. You are everything to me. I do not believe that such words can actually break a person. You know what? I actually hate you with passion. I hate you so bad that I would have wanted to see you inside your grave. I would have liked to see you in a casket, dead in a body bag. Such words kill you even when you are actually alive. When somebody says to you such words of hate, they are actually killing your spirit. They are actually killing you. And if you are not certain of what to say or what to do, you will actually be dead in the spirit. You will actually be living, breathing. Not actual definition of living. You are actually walking, working, talking, breathing, living, eating. But you are actually dead. Just because the words that a particular persons or people say to you have actually murdered your spirit. Such words of hate carry a great depth of power that can kill a person. That if words can give life, then the same words can take life from a person. And some people will actually say to you the words that if you were to say to them the same words, they would actually hate themselves. and they do not apologize. They do not take back these words even afterwards, either in anger, sadness, or despair. Afterwards, they have beaten this feeling. They do not actually come back to say, I'm sorry. You know what? I should have never said the words that I said. You know what? I should have never gone to the extreme. You know what? I was actually sad. I was angry. You know what? You can just pardon me for once. You can just forgive me. I'm actually sorry. Nobody is willing to go back and take the same words that they actually uttered. Maybe or maybe not, they know that these words actually have an influence. These words actually have a purpose to fulfill on your life, in your life actually. Good and positive words build a healthy mind. Thank you so much, everybody, and thank you, Young and Innovative Minds, YIM, for making this possible. Still in Kisumu County, this is conclusion of Adam's Welfare Show, episode number 8. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching us. And Welfare Show is specifically about the little specifics, building a hope for broken people. It is only a sick person that needs a doctor. And a healthy person does not need a doctor in any way, maybe for checkup, but a sick person needs a doctor. And I bring you, my friend, medicine in the form of words. Welfare Show is here for you today and will forever be here just for you, my friend. We will never cease from being here. We will be here forever. Just to see to it that you come out of a misery that you are actually in. You, my brother, you, my sister. Nobody might be there for you. But I'm actually here to let you know that Welfare Show is here for you. And we will always be here forever. Thank you so much. I love you all so much with utmost love. I love you all sincerely so much. And this is actually a word of hope that you do not actually have to be enslaved, subject to the words of others. You do not have to be subject to your thoughts, to your confessions. You are meant to be a master of your own words, of your own thoughts, of your own confessions. Thank you so much, everybody. See you next Friday. If you're lucky to be in Kisumu County, you can actually walk right here and have some coffee with me.